Hi, I'm Dr. Heidi Grant, here with another episode of 3 Things to Do. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today's topic is, I think, a really timely one. We're recording this while still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's really an unprecedented mental health challenge, this entire pandemic. We've seen extraordinary levels of mental health issues in really ordinary people, many of whom have never actually grappled with a mental health issue before. The reality is that life is hard on the best of days for all of us, and COVID-19 and the pandemic have actually just exacerbated that so much. So many of us know somebody who is actually going through something really challenging. The difficult part comes in knowing how to actually help people when they're really going through something. Most of us are not trained psychologists. We may be hesitant to offer help because we're not sure how to be helpful, or we may sometimes offer help that honestly isn't that helpful. So today I want to share with you 3 things to do to help someone who's going through a difficult time. The first strategy, and it's an incredibly effective strategy, is to get them talking. There are a lot of benefits to seeing a professional therapist, a professional clinician when people are going through a really hard time. But truthfully, a lot of research suggests that simply talking to anyone about our difficulties can be incredibly effective and therapeutic. When we talk about the things that are going wrong in our lives, the challenges we're experiencing, it helps us to really get clear around what is actually bothering us and what steps might be actually useful that we could take to help ourselves. So simply getting another person to talk about the difficulties they're experiencing can be enormously helpful, even if you don't have the solutions. The second strategy to help someone through a difficult time, and this is really important and one we often neglect, is to affirm their point of view, even when you think their point of view is part of the problem. It turns out people are much more receptive to another point of view when you begin by acknowledging what is right or understandable about the point of view that they have. Too often, we want to help somebody by just telling them they're thinking about things in the wrong way. You're thinking about it the wrong way, that's why you're feeling so upset. You should think about it this other way, that's the right way, that's going to make you feel better. And while you might be right about that, it's actually not the best way to have that conversation. The best way is to start by saying, I get where you're coming from and it's understandable, but maybe here's another way to think about what's happening to you. People will be much more receptive and open to what you're saying if you begin by affirming their point of view first. And the last strategy to help someone get through a difficult time is to try asking, not telling. Again, it's very, very tempting when we see someone suffering to just try to provide them with the solutions. It's a mistake we make with our partners, with our work colleagues, with our children. We just want to shake them by the shoulders and say, if you just did this thing, you'd be fine. But unfortunately, that's not always a really great strategy. It can be better instead to ask questions that would help somebody actually arrive at those same answers themselves. Ask them about some of the things they've been thinking about doing, what they think would be better if they did differently. Asking questions allows people to come up with their own ways of solving the problem. And the great thing about that is we are all, every single one of us, more naturally motivated to do a thing if it was our idea. Right? So you want to take advantage of that, and instead of giving people the answers to their problems, try to encourage them through questions to arrive at those solutions on their own. So let's go through those 3 things to do to help someone through a difficult time one more time. The first, get them talking. People are often very hesitant to talk about their problems. Create that space where they know they can share with you, that you're interested, that you want to know what's going on with them, and just simply getting them talking will go a long way to helping them heal. The second thing to do to help someone through a difficult time, remember to affirm their point of view, even if you think they're wrong, even if you think their point of view is the problem. Start by telling them that you understand, that you find it reasonable, that you get where they're coming from before you try to shift them into another way of thinking. And finally, try asking, not telling. Remember, we're all the most motivated to do just about anything when we think it was our own idea. So it's often better to ask questions that lead someone to a better conclusion rather than just telling them the solution to their problem right out of the gate. Thanks again for tuning into 3 Things to Do. Again, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And share this with somebody you know who may have someone in their lives who's going through a really difficult time, because these simple strategies can go a long way to making you the more effective helper you really want to be. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.